Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. I'm professional sports handicapper Ross Benjamin of RBWins.com. And like every Wednesday, it's our NFL betting edition. And we're joined by longtime veteran handicapper, Mr. Chip Chirimbus of the aplay.com. Chipper, how you doing today?
Absolutely wonderful. I stick with my top plays and, I enjoyed the NFL weekend. It was really spectacular. Those all four games coming down to the final play. And, here we are right now. Big games, big money, Ross. NFL weekend. This is where we, this is a showdown matchup right here on this weekend. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we both number one seeds are gone.
Yep.
You also had 3 or 4 teams win on the road, and Buffalo very easily could have been the 4th team. So, it was probably, if you look back, I can't recall games being this competitive. I can't believe that there's been a divisional round, a wild card round with 4 games or more involved, and all games coming right down to the wire like these 4 games did, Chip.
I think it can be considered the NFL's greatest playoff weekend ever. The way those games played out. You got a 10-10 game decided by a field goal, a block punt, and this game culminated the entire weekend with the kind of action that everyone just loved and craved for. I sat here last week and I told you that it was overkill, and I liked the under in that game. And I thought I was such a smart guy because with like 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the game, they were 10 points under the number. And I said, boy, Chipper, you sure know your totals. It went over by 25 points for crying out loud.
It was amazing.
It was incredible what happened at the end of that game.
Everybody's it's been labeled not only in my part of the country, but all over. I've been seeing all over the internet as probably the greatest game in playoff history. And
certainly,
if it's not, it's got to be in the top 5. That was just an incredible show by 2 quarterbacks that I thoroughly believe and has cemented in my mind those are the 2 best quarterbacks in football right now. Okay.
Well, I think they're gonna see each other again, for sure. It's
many times.
Like Manning and Brady duels that they used to have.
People have. I made the comment on social media, and of course, people jump all over me with Brady. Look, Brady's had a great career. Nobody is going to be able to match this guy's accomplishments and numbers, Chipper.
Wow.
I'm talking about the best quarterbacks right now in this particular moment in time.
No question.
Those 2 guys are the elite. Look, Aaron Rodgers, he's had a great career, but Chip, he's only won 1 Super Bowl. Okay?
I know. Well, he had McCarthy there with him. Remember that. But Josh Allen really, we expected him to take this step this year, and we didn't see it until the last time out. And it's a shame that he had to lose the game because he was spectacular. I don't know if he's going to be able to maintain running the ball as often as he does on so many design plays.
Yeah, he knocked 2 defensive backs out of the game running the ball.
That's now, Ross, and he'll have an accumulation.
But somebody's going to light him up one of these times. You know what I mean?
I think he's hard to light up, but I always expect a Roethlisberger to get hit like that, but they're so big and strong, they ward it off. But, there is an accumulation effect in this league because, these are the biggest and strongest and fastest athletes in the world.
But I would beg to differ. He not only dominated the game or had great statistics in the last game, he torched New England as well. You know what I mean? In 2 plays.
His time has come. That was an incredible performance we saw there. And you want to take Mahomes? Go ahead. I'll take Josh Allen. I don't have any problems with that.
Yeah, like I said, I can't make a strong argument against Patrick Mahomes. I could against anybody else. Okay. So if you take Mahomes or Allen, and if you're starting an NFL franchise tomorrow, Chip, and me and you are the owner, we're going to have a heated discussion on whether we're going to take Mahomes or Allen, possibly, and neither one of us would be wrong. And I think either way we went with that, the franchise is in pretty damn good shape.
What city is this franchise located in?
Let's say Stamford, Connecticut. I don't know.
Wow, it's playing before a small audience.
It's okay, but it's the home of Chip Chirimbus, which if he owns a team, people will flock from here far and wide.
I managed semi-pro baseball teams and high school baseball teams there. So, it's
There
all
you
in the
go.
mix.
There you go. I was going to say Rochester, New York, but I couldn't do that to people. Anyway, I love my city. I love Western New York, but it's not the optimum place to live where people are going to flock here. Anyway, Chip, we have NFL free picks for people for Sunday's games, both conference championship games. And you're going to take a look at the Rams in Frisco. Right now, the Rams are -3.5, and the total in that game is 46. So take it away, buddy.
All right, thank you. Russ, I split out last weekend, but fortunate enough, I won my big plays, the mega buck plays Saturday, and of course, game of the year, easy winner with Kansas City on Sunday. So now what am I going to do? I gave it under last week, and I got killed. Now I have another game here between the Rams and the Niners, which has got a load of trends and stats to give you. The Rams have done so well against the NFC. 5-1 in their last 6. Jimmy Garoppolo's inconsistency makes you take a stance, trying to think about what are you going to do with the Niners. And then, Ross, we start looking. Niners are number 3 in total defense, only allowing 310 yards a game. I think Buffalo was in front of them. Yeah. And their offense averages 10 more yards a game than the Ram offense. I was in shock when I saw that. They're at 376. Rams are at 367, whatever it is. And, those stats all lean and push me to the Niners. They're 5-1 the last 6 against the Rams. They're 4-0 in the last 4 straight up against them. It's a hard call for me to tell you that I think 3.5 is very inviting. I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going to lay the 3.5 here. I think maybe they're finally due. And I'll tell you what else. I think that Ram defense can exploit Garoppolo. Garoppolo, sometimes he does some things out there, makes some really horrific throwing plays or even decisions. And yet they've done so well, averaging 376 yards a game offensively. But my gut here, Ross, is that this line is strong at 3.5. It was 3.5 before, and the Niners beat them. And they don't take it down even a notch, make it a 3.
Yeah, you're asking. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna stick with the Rams here in this game. I just think the dog is 6-0 in the series as well. So I'm really going against the flow here. I may kill myself like the salmon when I reach the spawning grounds, but I don't know what else I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. So you're on the Rams -3.5, and I would venture to say that people, if you could pay the extra juice and get it down to 3, probably a good idea, since 3, 6, 7, and 10 are prime numbers in the NFL. That's where the most games land on, and it's not a sign of weakness to do so. It's just smart sports wagering. And yeah, in terms of that game, I mean, there's 2 things that I look at right now. The emergence of Odell Beckham for the Rams. He's become an integral part of their offense, and who would ever thought that 2 years ago we'd be talking about Odell Beckham being a great complementary piece. Okay. But that's exactly what he's provided for Cooper Kupp. And then getting Cam Akers back. I know the kid fumbled twice last week.
I love him.
The Rams tried to give that game away, but at the end of the day, they're a heck of a lot better offense with Cam Akers at running back than they are without him. Let's put it that way. And that's no disrespect to anybody on that roster or in that running back room. I'm going to take a look. Good. Yeah, he is.
Good, Ross. I saw a prop on him, 60.5 yards rushing. And I was thinking, after the game he had, only 48 yards fumbling twice. I said, I'd definitely take this kid in this game to have a good game.
Well, as long as he's not in the doghouse, which I can't see Sean McVay doing.
You see how electric he is.
You got to come right back with that kid and feed him 25 times on Sunday.
I agree. I agree.
So, yeah, I agree, Chip. I mean, that's over 60.5 yards, unless the Rams fall behind early and have to become one-dimensional. I think that's a great bet. And if you're like the Rams, like you do, then you're not foreseeing that occurring. So anyway, Cincinnati at Kansas City, 3:05 p.m. Eastern time. The Rams game that Chip just touched upon, that goes at 6:40 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. Look, Kansas City coming off that emotional draining, that is, overtime win against Buffalo, where they had the game won, then they look like a loser, then they look like a winner, then they look like a loser, and then they come back with 13 seconds to go and then win the game in overtime. You look across the media this week, whether it be in a digital form or picking up a newspaper, and all you see is basically it's a foregone conclusion that Kansas City, now that they beat Buffalo, is automatically going to the Super Bowl, and the game against Cincinnati is a formality. And I would say not so fast, my friends, because Kansas City, if anything else, that Buffalo proved in that loss is they exposed just how bad the Chiefs defense is. I know that they got some accolades during the middle of the year because they started to come on defensively. But again, in a big game, you saw what was done to them. And then let me remind folks, it wasn't too long ago, they traveled to Cincinnati. Now, this is a Chiefs team. I believe it's 11-1 in their last 13 or 12-1 in their last 13. And their only loss has been at Cincinnati. And in that game, Joe Burrow torched them for over 400 yards passing. And Cincinnati has the offense to keep this competitive. The question is going to be, Chip, is if their defense has a decent game, they'll have an excellent opportunity to pull the upset. If they don't, and they sort of play the way Buffalo did last week, matching punch for punch, I just think there's some value here in the underdog just because they have what I like to refer to, using a boxing analogy, as a puncher's chance, a team that could score and score in big numbers. So I'm going to take Cincinnati here, Chip, plus the 7 over Kansas City.
You know, this Burrow is more mature than people realize. I think he's 26 years old. You know, he had been around. He's been a winner everywhere. I mean, goodness. I mean, LSU, they covered every day. One of the greatest college football teams ever. Last year was his rookie year. He gets hurt the second half of the season. I think he was down a game or two this year as well, wasn't he? I'm not quite sure.
That's true.
And he hasn't had the greatest support. I mean, he had 9 sacks last week, and still he persevered and won. This team is kind of gritty. I'd love to see it happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. The line is pretty strong. I mean, that's the high number of the Chiefs, and I think it's going up. So maybe with your side, the longer you wait, the better off you're going to be.
I don't see it as being a strong line. I think it's a pretty honest line. That's just my opinion. Respectfully, right. We'll have to agree to disagree on that because, look, Cincinnati.
But you know, a 6.5 to me would be. That's what I thought it was going to come at. It'd be more appropriate. But I think the 7 and 7.5 it can be inviting in a playoff game, particularly the way the Bengals will play.
Yeah. What I was going to say is you're still looking at a Cincinnati team that's only 12-7 on the year. But they're also a team that was red hot down the stretch. They went 5-1 straight up and 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 games. Their only straight up loss came in that meaningless regular season finale against Cleveland, where they rested all their starters, and they still almost won that game. So we'll see. I mean, I could see where you're coming with a strong number, but I really think Cincinnati's offense will keep this game competitive, even if their defense plays matador like Buffalo did last week. And a lot of that had to do with Kansas City just got a track team on offense. So anyway, I'm looking forward to both matchups, Chip. So you like the Rams minus the 3?
I'm going to have the Rams, and I'm happy to give it to you because I think that's the side. I just think that there's been so much action on the Niners. I missed out on them week 1. I had them week 2. But I think I'm going to come back to the well once more and stick with the Rams.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with Cincinnati, and you're going to see that as part of my paid package on my website at rbwins.com. And if you watch this video and you want to follow this channel, you already know what that is. So for those who don't, well, that's their loss. Anyway, it's their loss unless they buy the pick online. Anyway, Chip, tell the folks where they could find you. Some highlights of what's been going on and what you got going on forward.
Well, to start with, Ross, I'm at chipwins.com, and you can get to me through there. My NFL best bets now have gone to 15-6 on Sundays for the year. We hit 2 best bets, one Saturday, one on Sunday. Of course, I know it was a heartbreak for many, but I'm still on track in the NFL. Going to have another big game winner this weekend. And of course, college basketball is now in full swing. And Ross, I think we're at a really advantage here because we have our first Saturday of college basketball without a pro game interfering with our viewpoint. We've been going after Saturdays and looking at the primary game and praise of being the NFL, and even there's NBA out there same time. Now a little more focus will be on the NBA, on college basketball on Saturdays, and I'm looking forward to that.
I am too as well. Coming off a bad Saturday like yourself, it happens, But for the most part, over our careers, you give us 120 games on a Saturday, which is about average in college basketball. We're going to be able to find not only some betting value, but numerous betting values. So keep an eye on that. You could find my picks at rbwins.com, folks. Chip calls it his megabuck plays. I call them my top plays, NFL top plays, 10-star top plays. 8-3 with my last 11, 10-4 with my last 14. I did have the Cincinnati Bengals last Saturday as a 10-star top play. I fell short with the Buffalo Bills in heartbreaking fashion as my other 10-star top play, but still a pretty good run with my NFL 10-star top plays. And then you got Chip, like he alluded to, 15-6 with his NFL megabuck plays this season in the NFL. So you can't find any better than that, folks. We'll both have I'll have a 10-star top play. Chip will have a megabucks NFL play for you as well. That's at chipwins.com or at rbwins.com. Until the next time, which will be tomorrow, where we will look at some NBA games on Friday. We like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Good luck and God bless, folks.